everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. Smash those likes and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the juicy topics. Now, don't worry, we're going to be freed from the midfielder talk for a little bit. We got some Salah updates for you. I mean, I don't even know what it means, to be honest. I don't know why it was brought out. I think we all agreed Salah was going to stay. I don't think that if a Saudi team came in for Salah, I'm sure we'd turn that down. And Salah's even spoke about wanting to still play in Europe for the foreseeable, therefore nothing really too much to worry about there. But in recent news, his agent came out and basically put a tweet saying he's committed to Liverpool. I mean, it was in other words, so I encourage you to go and look on Twitter yourself. But it was essentially along the lines of, well, if we wanted to leave, we wouldn't have signed or renewed the most recent contract that they did 12 months ago. I believe it was 12 months ago. Time's going too quick with Liverpool. It felt like yesterday we were winning the Champions League, and now that's just... If you look at the picture of the team that won the Champions League, the majority of it's grey. If you do those editing things, it's weird, it's strange. It's like 5 players still remaining. It's wild. The golden generation truly is finished. But yeah, man, listen, I think with Salah and his agent coming out, it's actually really encouraging to hear that he still wants to play for this club. And here's why. I think it's boss when someone like Mo Salah has quite an underwhelming start to his career. You know what I mean? He was a top prospect when he was younger at Basel, and then he was linked with all different types of teams, Chelsea, and he went to Chelsea. Didn't quite work out for him there, which a lot of world-class players it hasn't worked out for. You know, Lukaku went on to do great things, Salah went on to do great things, De Bruyne went on to do great things. So maybe it was just a sort of systematic thing where they had so many young players that they were almost spoiled for choice. He then goes to Italy, builds himself a profile, comes here, and let's be honest, just absolutely one of the greatest players who's ever graced the league. And how do you define one of the best players to have ever played in the Premier League? Okay, if we're going to talk about technique alone, Salah isn't even top 50 players, technically. You know, and I want Salah fans to not take that as hate. I think it's actually more impressive that he is inferior on a technical basis to a lot of players, especially top players, and a lot of top players need that technical ability to be at the top. Messi, you consider him, he's a top-class player. Ronaldo in his prime, very technical player. Hazard, one of the most technical players that you're ever going to see. Whereas Salah, he's got a bit of technique, but it's nowhere near these dudes. And the fact that he's only really a left-footer, he scored some right-footed goals, but mainly he's a left-footer. You know what he's going to do. He's going to cut in on the left-hand side. He's constantly going to try and find himself inside of the gaps of the defence and trying to outpace defenders. And he's made that work to a point where he scores so many goals. So he's not a world-class dribbler. He's not a world-class converter. You know, in terms of his finishing, it's not bad. He scores some belter goals, but then you look at Salah sometimes and think, how didn't you score that? But he always finds a way. What do we have to attribute this to? Hard work, great mindset, maximising your ability, but also working with the right coach who adheres to you. And that's why I hope we don't see Salah getting pushed all the way out to a far right wing position, you know what I mean, to where he's almost on the touchline. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that Salah thrives as an inside right forward, a right forward who's going to cut inside on that left foot and also be found on the inside as well. So let me know what you think about this, because I think there's some people out there who might even think, well, Salah, he's getting a bit older and he's a big asset. It might be worth selling him if Saudi offered enough money. But for me, I think he's a true leader. I think he's a leader by example. Everybody seems to have a smile on the face when Mohamed Salah's around. He works so hard for the team. And listen, I can watch Salah and scratch my eyes out sometimes, but you know that dude, yeah, he always works for the shirt, mate. He's actually, probably now, when I consider a lot of factors, I'd probably say he's my favourite player. Him and Trent, I think them two are competing out for it, but yeah, I think that for me, that man for me is just a huge legend, and I would put him up there probably with Steven Gerrard now, on the same level, by the way. I'm not going to just say above or below, I'm going to put him on the same level. As a Scouser, I've always adhered more towards Gerrard, but Mohamed Salah, if he left, this club goes to bits, because how do you even replace those goals? And do you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to reference a conversation I had not too long ago about our financial situation. And I was saying, well, there's certain circumstances that would make me consider selling Salah just because I thought it'd financially benefit the football club. But now that I've saw it wouldn't really matter, because we probably wouldn't replace him efficiently. And we've also sold Fabinho and Henderson and still yet to replace those. That's why I'd probably say Salah, just not a chance, untouchable. Let him stay until he's completely fucking finished, you know what I mean? That's what I'd say. And this season, we'll see if he can keep it going. But from what I've seen in his first 6 seasons, I've got to give the man his credit when it comes comes to persistence, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying he's the perfect player. I'm just giving him the credit, the fact that I think he's over-maximised his ability, which is great. And it's good to hear that him and his agent are wanting to stay, because we know Mo Salah's agent can be a bit of a bastard, but I suppose that's the job of an agent, mate. But the second thing that I wanted to talk about, and we did just touch on Henderson and Fabinho, fucking Romeo Lavie, mate. Romeo Lavie. So I done a video the other night, a stream to be more precise. Make sure you tune in for tonight's stream as well. And it was I am now beginning to get sceptical of Romeo Lavie. That deal potentially collapsing. Now, technically, the deal can't collapse because, you know, it's not really like set in stone. But we have put 2 bids on the table. We have agreed to personal terms. There was a reason why Lavie never played the other night, and we are the only team who are really going in and showing interest in Lavie. Arsenal might be interested, the same way James Redmond is interested in a Lamborghini in the window. But I'm not going to go and try and bid on the Lamborghini. I'm not going to try and purchase the Lamborghini. My interest is purely from the window shopping aspect. That's what Arsenal and Chelsea are doing. We are currently talking to the negotiator. That is what we are doing at this moment. We need to get a deal that suits them. It's about making sure they get the 50 million they want, because they're not budging and they've got no real incentive to sell Lavie. So if we play if we try and play this game and overcomplicate it, and whoever is negotiating this deal overcomplicates the deal, we may just miss out on Lavie, which I think for now, I think some people would be fine with, some people probably not as much, including myself. I think he's a top prospect, and I think he'd come into the team and do really, really well, to be honest. And, you know, when people say, oh, he's only had 1 year of Premier League experience, I'll flip that and say, well, he came right into the Premier League and done boss in a team that was shit, you know what I mean? And imagine how good he could do in our team with better players, and he's a ball carrier, and he gets us on the front foot more. Still, I'd still question the defensive aspect of everything, and I think that's important. But yeah, Lavie for me he's a good player, and I think with Klopp he'd work really well. Now we're just waiting to see what happens with this third bid. Everything lies on this, and if we don't get that, then will we get another CDM? That is something that I just genuinely don't know about. I don't know if we're going to get 1 more player, 2 more players. I predict it's probably Lavie and that's it. But I also know Liverpool have a tendency to kind of get a signing out of nowhere. If we were going to base Liverpool's business based on what we think they're going to do, then we would have never got Fabinho, we would have never got Salah'S, we would have never got Diogo Jota. These are examples of signings that kind of came out of nowhere, because Salah'S was like 2 days done. Jota, a matter of hours really, and that was done. And then Fabinho, that one, I remember the Fabinho news. I saw the Fabinho news 40 minutes later. Fabinho signed for Liverpool. Crazy scenes. Great though. I believe it was like the day after the Champions League final, or the week after, only because I remember still feeling really, really shit. And then he joined. Yeah, man, I mean, listen, this is why I'm going to sit here and say that I'm unsure about the future of Liverpool and the success of it, but we need to give ourselves the best possible chance. Just go out and get the players required, that's it, you know what I mean? But this has been a bit more of a positive video. It gave me an opportunity to talk about the legend that is Mo Salah. And yeah, man, smash a like if you enjoyed these videos, and if you like this channel, then please do stay subscribed, and feel free to tune in the future as well. But I love every single one of you, and I appreciate the overwhelming support that you show me on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, guys, I'll see you all in a bit. Peace out.